You like the finger up the butt?
Sometimes.
I'm new to that.
Just one finger.
I'm new to that.
Just one finger.
The sheet hit the rim.
Welcome to Listen, I'm a Barber podcast. This is my first episode. I'm Jay Hollywood. And I'm here with my first guest, my man, Chum.
I'm Chum. I am a random photographer that is somehow in this fucking podcast.
You weren't supposed to be.
No, I was not. I was actually supposed to just film the shit.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to be here at all.
That's
Sorry.
right.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm actually very excited to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
This is an absolute blessing. You're still a piece of shit for putting me on camera like this.
Problem with that?
Yeah, I had a lot of thoughts of what I was going to ask you, and they all just went out the window.
I mean, this shit was fucked from probably before we started it.
It was fucked from day one when I wore this hat.
Are you actually going to show me your butthole?
I would love to show you my butthole, but I think Eleni would yell at me.
Actually, I don't want to say it. I lied.
You like the finger up the butt?
Sometimes.
I'm new to that.
Just one finger.
I'm new to that word.
Just one finger.
The sheet hit the rim, and I got nervous. I thought I was going to shit.
Did it tingle? Did you get the tingle?
Bro, I quenched my asshole.
Yeah. You didn't fart, did you?
I wanted to shit on her hand.
You should have.
I was so scared.
Do you know how she would have loved
Bro, I looked at her dead in the face. I said, babe, I got a shit. She was like, that's normal. I said, no, it's not.
I'll be honest.
Nah.
It's kind of normal, dude.
It's not normal for me.
It's okay. Well, look, I do want to say thank you so much for coming on, making this first episode extremely special. We already got buttholes. We're already starting off strong.
Oh, that was. Listen, I had to get that off my chest because if there's that one person I could talk to about buttholes, it's you. Absolutely.
You know what? I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that. But I still don't want to see your butthole.
No, I don't even think it's shaved either. So it probably looks like a jungle. It's not a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing at all.
No, not at all. You don't mind, do you?
Absolutely not. Hit that shit.
I wouldn't care either.
Light it the fuck up. That's what this shit's about. Good. That's what I like to say. You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should hit the lighter in the beginning of every podcast.
Like some Lil Wayne shit,
Yeah.
back when the old mixtape.
You know he's coming back?
I know, the Carter tour.
Are you excited or are you... Let me ask you this. Do you think a Lil Wayne Carter tour is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for his reputation?
I'll be honest, I stopped paying attention to Wade once he started kind of putting out more pop culture music.
Okay, fair enough. Are you willing to go?
I don't know. Probably not.
So if I got us 4 tickets, you're not coming?
I'll be honest, probably not.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate the offer, but it's not my twist anymore.
I'm not looking mad at you. You know why? Because I saw the ad, I contemplated it, and I said, you know what? I said, it's either going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be a fucking monster-ass show, or he's going to have tomatoes thrown in his head like the old days.
I've seen Wayne perform 3 times. It's actually pretty prolific. He's a really good performer.
I believe that. He's one of those people that no matter how high he is, he will perform.
I've watched him belt out an entire concert for 2 hours straight. Didn't miss a beat. It's actually pretty impressive.
I'm actually, now you got me more excited to want to do that. Can you keep the fucking joint lit?
I rolled it while I was high, Ricky.
Oh my God. So listen, so now I'm interviewing Jay, and that's a difficult thing to do. And I'll be honest, not many people can interview Jay. Not many people would have the capacity to interview Jay, but somehow, some way, I've done it for the last, I don't know, better part of 3 or 4 years.
Dude, my fiance's still trying to figure this out.
She'll never get it. Eleni never gets me.
She's trying. She's doing really good.
It's the same way. Eleni looks at me. She was like, how are you built as a human? I don't fucking know. God built me like a fucking degenerate.
I don't think we are humans. I'm from space.
I'm from Philadelphia. I think I'm human. She pinches my nipples and it hurts. I think I'm human.
So you mean to tell me just because you're from Philadelphia, you're human?
I believe so, yeah.
You must be a Birds fan.
Go Birds. Listen.
You know I search you up for that. I'm letting you
You're absolutely true. Listen, go Birds. That NFC Championship game was great. We're going to see what happens. I am not making my prediction live. I will not make my prediction at all because I think it can either go 2 ways. I think either the Chiefs are going to win or the Eagles are going to win. There's no...
there's only 2 teams playing.
But my point is, there's no which way about it. You can't, pick that game. any Eagles fan is going to tell you, oh, the Eagles are going to win. But if you look at the powerhouse of what the Chiefs have, there is zero ability that they aren't going to go down without a fight.
So I'm going to give you the prediction right now, and then we're going to see what interview you got for me here. But
okay.
I got the Chiefs.
What do you got the Chiefs at?
I think they're giving points right now, or no, they're getting points, surprisingly. And the Chiefs never get points. Not to say that that's not a thing, but this is the only thing I'm going to say. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
And I'm just one of those people that when things are scripted, they're scripted. So for the city of Philadelphia, I honestly hope they win. And I'm a Cowboys fan. I honestly hope they win because you know what? The vibe of everybody around Philly, New Jersey, everybody's just pumped up. And I like that energy. I do. I love that energy.
Absolutely.
I hate the team. You know, we've been rivals since I've been born. The last time I saw a Super Bowl, I was 7. It's very disappointing. But past that,
Jesus, you're fucking old.
I got the Chiefs. And I'm not taking the spread. I'm just calling it Chiefs.
Just take that fucking money line.
That's it, just the money line.
Dude, I'm telling you, and I've actually said this before we get into our topics and before we get into this interview, I generally think that, I thought if the 49ers had Brock Purdy fully healthy, I think that's a 3-point game. I think we win.
I'll be honest, before Brock Purdy went down, I had my bet set at -8.5. I took the Eagles higher. So I could say yes or no, but nah, man, the Eagles were going to win that game.
No, I believe that we were going to win that game, but I also thought it was going to come down to who on defense is going to make better plays.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, they were doing good for a little while, but that was right.
Rookie quarterback coming in, you got to knock him off sideways.
So I'm actually very curious I wasn't prepared for any question you had because I really wanted to give you my full spec here, but what do you got for me?
So in recent years, we have had, how do I want to put this? We've had numerous times together where we've either been outside or we've been in a different state or if we sat in the barbershop and just talked for, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And one of those things had come up to me. And it was a life and death experience, a life-altering experience that changed your mentality for the rest of your life and the way you live your life. Okay. I want you to explain what happened. And not only do I want you to explain what happened, but how do you feel? What changed in your mental capacity and the way you maneuver yourself every day from that day forward?
Okay. So it was April 29th. It was a Friday night. Me and all the boys were getting ready to go to Xfinity for the night, and it was going to be a good one.
Okay.
Like we had the whole crew out there.
Okay.
Now, a backstory of why this is where my life changed.
Okay.
I was prescribed Adderall. My doctor prescribed me Adderall because I was working crazy shifts at the shop and it was making me fucking ridiculously productive. So, like most people, I saw nothing wrong with it in the beginning. But this one particular day, I woke up, I was really fucking tired. Took the Adderall, still tired, but like pushed through my day.
Didn't think nothing of it?
No, I just thought I was tired. I thought I was working too much and didn't sleep that good. And get done the day. I go hit the gym, and by the time I got done the gym, I was like, yo, I'm fucking cooked, man. Like, but everybody keeps hyping up. Like, everybody's hyping up the night. Everybody. So I'm like,
okay.
All right, so what do you think I did? Took another Adderall. Took another one.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I mean, what else would you do? You're tired and you want to go out with the boys.
I mean, there's a couple of things I could think of, but just on like a mediocre level, I just went back to the Adderall.
Okay.
So took the Adderall, came back to life. I end up in Runnymede with all the boys at the pregame spot, and like everybody was doing it back in the Red Bull vodka. Everybody loved the Red Bull vodka drinks. That's fucking slum buckets, fucking giant rum buckets and shit.
Fucking deathly.
Yeah, we were making fucking giant things of those. The jungle juice, smoking a couple joints. Yeah. So I smoked like 2 Red Bull vodkas, and at this point now I'm mixing that with the Adderall, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. I feel super.
Nothing in your mind is thinking like maybe this wasn't a good idea. Nothing at that time. Let me rephrase that. Nothing at that time in your mind was thinking, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have taken that Adderall and mixed it with alcohol."
Nah, dude, not
Okay.
at that time in my life. I didn't know what my limit was.
Okay.
So at that point, and obviously, if you take Adderall, sometimes your limit is further than the reality of your limit.
Exactly.
So I didn't really know where my limit lied. I just kind of kept going as whatever the Adderall would take me to.
Just kept pushing.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was we leave the house, we're on our way to Xfinity, and my heart's fucking pounding, like almost beating out of my chest. Boom. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, all right, I just want to calm down. So I had one of them little like weed pens and shit, and the little vape cards. I hit that, and now my body's calm, but my heart's still fucking pounding.
Still pounding.
And I'm like, fuck this, man. We get to Xfinity. I'm telling my buddy, I'm not feeling right. And he's like, oh, dude, you want a Xanax? And I'm like, if that's going to help, yeah, absolutely. There's a twist. I don't take Xanax. I do take Xanax when I fly. I call that time travel.
I think you've explained that to me before. Okay.
Yeah, that's time traveling.
Yeah.
Take it, wake up, next night, please. But took the Xanax, and I forgot that, when you mix Xanax and alcohol, it kind of pretty much turns into a mind eraser. So now I'm in Xfinity. We're drinking more. I took the Xanax, forgot I took the Xanax, and then I'm casually walking around like a zombie at Xfinity, and I'm with a couple buddies of mine, and there was some bad blood between a couple friends of mine, and it just actually had nothing to do with me. I'm one of those people. I'm a happy person. I don't got no problems with people. Try not to. But I'm in the bathroom at Xfinity with my boy, and the next thing you know, I see the dude that he and the other dude got into a fight like the week prior. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Now, I'm cool with this kid. I used to see him at the gym all the time. Okay. No real conversation. I was just like, yo, what's up, guy? How you doing?
Just passing through. Hey, man, how's it going?
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
Okay.
His parents had a fucking dope-ass restaurant. Shit was good. Food was fucking incredible.
What kind of food?
Italian food. It was really nice. But, yeah, so I see the kid, and my buddy's still in the stall. And I look at him like, yo, dude, he's over there in the stall. Like, I'm giving you, like, the go to, like, get the fuck out of here. Now, you know how big Xfinity is, right?
A lot of people.
I'm just saying, like, the size of the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fucking massive.
Enormous.
He took off. And I'm like, oh, thank God. My boy gets out of the fucking stall, doesn't say him, and I'm like, oh, we dodged a bullet. And I'm like, thank God, no bullshit, no drama, no fighting, none of that bullshit. We walk out of the fucking bathroom, walking down the fucking hallway towards the fucking bar. Of all the fucking places this fucking guy could be, he was right there. My boy sees him, almost throws me the fuck out the way because we're all fucking drunk in like a crazy way. And I kind of go taking off after him, trying to catch up to him. This is where it gets kind of weird. So we go into the bar, we kind of like weasel our way in. Next thing I know, we got two big ass fucking hands. Like, I'm talking hands. Like, if you could picture Shaq's hands.
I was about to say like football hands.
Football hands, yeah. Like Brock Lesnar hands. You got to make special gloves for those kind of hands.
Mitts.
I feel that on my shoulder. And I look up and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's a bouncer. Well, when my buddy went into the bar first, he had kind of thrown somebody, kind of the same way he threw me. Well, who do you think he threw? The manager. The manager of the fucking bar. So, of course, he fucking lights the bouncers up right away, and they pretty much kick us out. And at the time, we only got like a half an hour left of the night. The night was good.
Until that point.
As fucked up as I was, it was good.
Okay.
So, they kick us out, whatever. We're actually trying to walk around the building to like the other side, trying to get back in it.
Okay.
And we're hearing it on the fucking microphone. They're like, yeah, these two guys keep trying to come in. And I'm like,
try the back door.
Yeah, so we just walk over to McFadden's and we just wait. This is where everything changed. Okay. We meet up with everybody. Let's go to the parking lot. Let's hit Gino's. Let's hit Pat's. Let's go get some steaks.
Yeah.
Let's go to fuck home. It's going to be all good. And we're walking in the park. I swear to God, it was like a fucking movie, dude. They're walking towards us. We're walking towards them type of deal. I saw one person in that bathroom that night when I told that dude to move out the way and just like, go just before some shit happens. He wasn't one dude at that moment. He had about 5 other dudes with him at the time. and they're walking from wherever they are towards where we are. Now, mind you, that means they had exited the building and are walking back towards the building. We're walking away from the building into the parking lot. It happened so fucking fast. But in my mind, it was happening in like super, super slow motion. And I just see punches getting thrown. And I'm like, whoa. Now, I'm not the fighting type.
No.
I'm not really into that. I love baseball bats, like shit like that. That's really fun shit.
Shit that hurts people.
Yeah, that's fun shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm sitting there and I see my two buddies that had the original beef. They were doing their thing. Like, it was like, yo, let them handle business. Like, it's going well. Now, here's the thing. They were getting the best of these two dudes. And I guess the ego kicked off. The other three dudes went to jumped in. It was fair. Like, I love the fair shit, man. That's always well, there's no more of that no more. But in the beginning, it was fair. And I actually give them credit because they were getting their asses beaten respectfully.
By each other.
Nah, my boys were just whooping ass. They came at us. They were handling business. And next thing you know, the other three dudes jumped in. What I remember about that night is that I didn't necessarily want to fight nobody. I literally just wanted to barrel into somebody as hard as I could to just break it up. I didn't really care if I actually even hit my boys. Like, I just
wanted to hit.
No, I just wanted to break up all this fucking commotion. Because at least it would have put people to the fucking floor.
And let them get up.
Yeah, it would have gave everybody a chance to swarm in, at least to like shut it down. Either that or they were too scared because it was just a bunch of fucking massive, like, gorillas. No, just big boys. Like, you see like two little guys fighting, you're like, I kind of want to watch this. You know, you see two big gorillas going at it, it's like, all right, yo, like, one of them could, like, die. Like, one of them could hit him.
This could end really bad.
Yeah, most of the time it does.
Yeah.
But before I even got the opportunity to let that thought even sink in, I just kind of blacked out for a second. Now, I was completely focused the whole time. So the next thing I know, I come back to consciousness, and all I see is a giant knee. And then I blacked out again. And then I woke up again. And then my vision was kind of going back and forth, like through the parking lot. And I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. I'm just playing this in my head as like, holy shit. Well, I got my skull fractured, my knee fractured, my wrist, 2 broken ribs, and I think I fractured my ankle. Like, however this went down, because I can't remember because it happened so fast, and whatever my brain told itself was happening, it's like erased. It's
like a blur.
Yeah. So basically, I got just beat up that bad. I don't remember. I didn't swing at nobody. I didn't jump in. It just, I guess they saw me next, and and that was it.
Just took after on you.
Yeah.
Just went after you and pretty much just said, fuck it, you're in the mix.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up because I'm kind of like still debating whether or not I should have jumped in. It's like, well, this ain't my fight. Like, these guys got problems, but it's like, yo, okay, they're not going to jump them. I kind of draw a line there. It's like, okay, there's a level of, okay, y'all got some problems. Like, ain't nobody else got to help you with your shit. Handle your business. But it's like, okay, now there's malice intent now. Now there's a different intention.
Now you're actually trying to hurt this kid.
Yeah, and it's
instead of just figuring out what fucking issues you guys had in the past.
Yeah, it was all over some fucking bitch too. Some chick that wanted him to was fucking, and then next thing you know, one guy's pissed off and the other guy's laughing, and it's like, didn't even matter who was who. But
just start swinging at one point.
Yeah, but like the last thing I truly remember, it was like 2 scenes before like I come into actions. I'll explain it. But I remember the next time I opened my eyes, I was looking at like a road. I was in a car. And my head was hanging out the window. And for a brief minute, I threw up nothing but blood. I had a little bit of internal bleeding from like whatever had happened. So the next thing I remember is I blacked out again, opened my eyes, and there was my boy Jules. So he's my right-hand man. He's like, dude, I truly love in life. He was there for me at like the worst moment of my life. I wake up, and now I don't feel like I'm standing. I'm just seeing lights. And like for a quick minute, I'm like, what? Fuck.
Pretty much like you were on an ER bed running through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm not.
You're not thinking.
I'm not thinking. I'm not putting anything together, and it all kind of makes sense at the very end of it. But I do remember this. On my deathbed, which was fucking wild, I see this nurse, and she's like over top of me, and I'm like, dude, she's fucking hot, man. Like that was the only thing I could
This
think of.
motherfucker. That's all I got.
And then next, then it was like a pure blackout, like a blackout. And I woke up 2 days later, like actually out of whatever they did or kept me like sedated or out.
Whatever state you were in.
Yeah. So I woke up 2 days later. Doctor told me at one point I was completely out for 37 seconds. He was like, "Yeah, you had no pulse, you had nothing, like that was it." And I'm like, "Oh shit." It didn't actually hit me either, too. Not to say like what actually happened.
Has it hit you?
Oh yeah.
Have you had, now this is obviously another question into this.
Okay.
Have you had thoughts of that night since then?
No.
You've never tried to think like context clues or deja vu or anything?
I'll have deja vu from time to time, but I don't think it's not with any like horrible feeling. Like if I could explain something to you, whatever happened to my brain chemically that night when it went through that experience, picture you got a whole tab of shit on your computer. And I know you can get such a visual from this. Mm-hmm. Now let's just say your computer's fucking loaded with tabs, and each tab is like an emotional file for a person. And all the people I know, all the great times I've had, like all that shit, dude. Picture at that moment, when that incident happened, it all was deleted. There was no backup. There was no save. There was no separate hard drive. Like my whole brain had just lost everything.
Pretty much like your hard drive got bent in half, broken, and you had to start fresh with something else.
Yeah. So when I say I don't really feel it at this point, I had to re-feel who my mom and dad were, who my girlfriend was at the time, my sister, my friends, because I knew who everybody was logically, but the emotion was gone. And it sucks because I've explained this to people and they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Nah, like if you're actually in my life, that means you're not grandfathered in no more." Because you ever think like you have people in your life that they're in there for so long that if you're dealing with their bullshit, you almost just say, "Fuck it," like that's that person.
Yeah.
At that moment in my life, every part of what I felt for people was gone. I had a fresh slate emotionally with everybody. So if you pulled your bullshit or came around me, it's like, well, now I'm not overly consumed with a million different energies and confusions and nothing being digested. It's like, now it's like, oh shit, this is this person. Yo, this guy's a real fucking jerk off, but he's been my friend for like 6
or you can't remember what had happened pre-broken hard drive.
Yeah, because there were so many tabs. You don't know which one's running slow, which one's running fast, which one you're diving deep into, which one you're just scratching the surface on. Like, I feel like when I was in my 20s, I had met so many people that a lot of them were really temporary. They were cool people. But like, temporary. They were very temporary, yeah. Okay. But the people that were permanent, like the people I've known for like a decade or more, it still had the same effect. Like my mother, my father, my sister, like they were just people to me. They weren't actually like my mom, my dad, my sister, like as I would have it emotionally.
So they were just people who you knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Situations, everything, like how I felt from that day forward just changed my whole perspective. But that was from an emotional standpoint. It kicked in logically. As you say, like, do I think about it? Did it change? And it was like, okay, the day it hit me, like, yo, dude, you died. Like, you now need to be grateful.
Yeah.
Like my ego at that point was still used very well. Like people probably hated my confidence at the time. People still do, but I look at it as like, I'm a very positive person. Like I'm always giving positivity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know how to explain it, man. Like I realized there were certain things about how I was living that I was like, yo, maybe it was time for this character to die. It might've just went too far. Like my nickname Hollywood, like it was given to me by my boss. I never like called myself Jay Hollywood. It just kind of caught, and I was like, maybe I'll take this persona on. You know what I mean?
And then you took it on, and did you let Jay Hollywood die when you died?
Yeah, that night, yeah. Or I think I held the funeral, and then I had memories of that personality for a little bit longer until it was like, yeah, that's I did what I had to do. I had that fun. I knew that there was something in there that I explored and looked at life, and it was fucking great, man. But
yeah,
that life wasn't supposed to continue.
Absolutely.
Like that had to go.
So my biggest thing is when, okay, so let's say, how do I want to put this? Do you remember those people who you were around that night?
Yeah.
You remember them to this day?
My friends or the other people?
Both.
I know the one guy that the original problem was with.
Okay.
But his 4 friends, no. There was actually one point my buddy seen me out and knew the guys, and I was drinking at the time, and I was like, yo, you know that guy? He was like, yeah, I know who actually jumped you. He's like, I know the dude. He's actually he was a fighter. He like trained and everything. And I'm like, wow, that motherfucker didn't give me a fair fight. Like, and he was a trained fighter. He's a real fucking pussy, you know?
So let me ask you a question. Have you spoken to that kid that had the original beef since then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, if I keep it real, there was all these charges filed from the Philadelphia like police department, all this shit. Dude,
against him, not
against him.
Against him.
Yo, I'll be honest. We went to court. I was like, bro, I don't want nothing from you. He didn't physically fuck me up. He didn't touch me. He was the one who was actually getting his ass beat. So it was like, yo, dude, you're in a shitty spot. I got this opportunity right now to like roll you, and I'm like, nah. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's certain people take advantage of that, and I'm like, I'm not really trying to hurt this cat. Like, this was a real fucked up thing. Like, nobody did anything right. We're all drunk.
No, everybody was wrong.
Yeah, so nobody needs to be more wrong. We all went through the situation. It didn't matter who got what. You know, like, that's where my mind's at. Like, we all just went through something. Because even though I went through that, my boys had to watch me go through the recovery.
Of what had happened.
Yeah, dude, like, my face was broken. You couldn't recognize me. Like, my eye was out here. I actually have a dent in my skull.
What year did this happen?
2016.
Can I ask you one question? It's tough.
Go ahead.
Do you regret anything that happened that night?
Nah, I'm so happy it happened.
Has it changed the way you live your life to this day?
Has it changed?
Has it changed the way you hang out with the boys, or where you put what positions you put yourself in? Or, you know, let's say you're out with everybody. Do you generally look over your shoulder 2 or 3 times more every time you go out?
No.
Okay.
You know why? I don't go out. I work. I found such a different, like, how about this, right? When I was doing my thing and I was on my tear and partying and networking and building my business and all that shit, dude, yo, I did exactly what the fuck people were supposed to do. I partied at the dopest clubs. I was at every bar. I knew this person. I knew that person. Everything was so dope. I actually couldn't have had it any fucking better. So when that happened and I had that time to really sit back down and think, I'm like, what am I still going out for? Am I trying to top the time? I can't. Without some like crazy drug use or something off the fucking wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to do?
No. See, you know what the craziest part about that is? And I remember you explaining me this story, not this in depth. This is the first time I'm hearing really an in-depth conversation of what had happened. We have talked about previous experiences, different life-altering.
Dude, nobody asks. No, you want to know nobody asks? It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear a real reality where it's like, yo, this shit changed my life.
Yeah. And
who I am to people, like all the mentoring I've done, it's one story that when people are listening to it, they're like, all right, yeah, I don't really want to hear no more. This is kind of like too much. And it's like, too much. I lived it. It's not too much.
I was about to say, it's never too much when one of your boys dies, but comes back.
Yeah, man. And that's, like I said, that's where I had the big switch. I was like, yo, I'm here for something different. And then since that day, I've done nothing but start mentoring children. Like every kid that comes in my barbershop, like, we're growing things now. Yeah. We're not doing things to let shit die. Like, we're not just going to drink on the weekends. We're not just going to get fucked up and just bullshit and just let this mindless entertainment, like, run our lives. It's like, yo, we're going to grow this shit. And it's not on, like, an egotistical level. It's on we're humans. We evolve.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do that, why are we going to be doing something that's an evolving activity? Drinking, it's fucking pointless.
I don't mean to cut you off. You know, you're one of the reasons why I kind of slowed down on drinking.
No, but that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Drinking for me was fun, and I've had the hoorahs. We've done Miami together.
Wait, don't let me tell you that I don't think drinking ain't fun.
No, my biggest thing is, and I look at it this way because I've also learned strictly from you that drinking is a celebratory thing. It's not a thing you do when you're depressed. It's not a thing you do when you're down. It's not a thing you do when you're not in the right mindset or state. And I think for me, it's I can't fathom spending $150 at a bar when I could have used that $150 and put it in my business.
I got one even better.
But the problem is I can't. It's still a fucked up thing in my head because I can go spend $150 on a Lego and not put that $150 in my business. But the problem is that Lego gives me not only, the biggest thing is, and this is something that me and Eleni have been doing for, a little bit, is we build Legos together. But the thing is, it gives me a sense of calm. I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about what's going on. Me and her build Legos, and it just gives us, a little bit of, time together. But not only that, we are both just are mindless when we do it. We look at it, we're like, damn, we just built this. This shit's fire.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I like. It's a project. And I think for me that, listen, I've been bottles deep. I've been fucked up. But I'm starting to change with age and maturity that, I would rather be fucking home, relaxing, and not always on the go. And like I say that when today we were on the go the whole fucking day. Whole fucking day we were on the go. But I would rather have just sat at home.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, the mindset changes. And I think that's where, hearing part of that story is like, damn, you really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what is going to happen on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You never know what's going to happen. And I think for me that hearing what had happened and hearing how it happened now makes me want to look over my shoulder 2 or 3 times. Because people hold grudges for God knows how fucking.
Yeah, I ain't got time for grudges, man.
Nobody should have time for grudges. Grudges are bullshit. It's you just trying to have a fucking ego for yourself for no reason.
Look, I had an ego. Now, mind you, like I said, it was a positive ego. Like, I always wanted to bring people up. But I could definitely tell there was an over air. Like, I know what it's like to be cocky. I know what it's like to be confident. And I definitely flirt that line.
Yeah, but they definitely get misinterpreted easily. Because everybody says, it could say the same thing with me. I always say I'm one of the best photographers. I'm not cocky in any way. But you put me in a situation that has to deal with photography, I will make it out, giving you the best I can. And not only that, I will learn from that experience. And if you put me in a situation similar to that, I'm going to be better than the last time.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, though. That's something that I like preaching to all the people in the barbershop. I like that when we are talking, we're talking about things that can make them better.
Exactly.
I don't have, and here's my big thing. It's a little arrogant, and maybe it's a little like cold, but I'll give somebody one time to just belt some shit out to me. Like if they're sitting in a chair, they got some shit going down with themselves. It's like, yo, look, go ahead, get it out. I want to hear it. I want to hear if it's as bad as it really is, or if you're just making it sound worse. So after we let them say what they got to say and get it out, it's like, all right, cool. Now what are we going to do about it?
What are you going to change?
Yeah, what are we going to do? Then we're going to go completely off feelings, because the feelings ain't changing without action.
Yeah, you're absolutely
It's not. So if we keep feeling and feeling and feeling and feeling, and I feel, it's like, guess what? If you just do just a little bit, you feel a little different. And then you do a little more, you feel a little different. Then you start doing more.
Yeah.
You start really feeling different. I want the people around me to succeed. I saw the Joe Rogan thing, or one of his chopped up clips, like on Instagram or all that. And it was like the man, has 2 lives, and the other one starts when he realizes he only has one. It's like, well, I got one and got another chance.
You had a second chance at something, and you knew you had to take every opportunity to make sure that it was the right one.
Yeah, dude.
That you succeeded not only in life, but in obviously your relationship, and being the best person that you can.
I can't control what anybody does.
No.
And I've gotten to a point in my life where I've lost expectations for people. Even if somebody tells me they're going to do something, I don't even have the expectation that you're going to do it. Like, I just don't. I've been to that point in my life where I've held people in high regard, and people have told me things, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, because I'll come through for them every time.
Yeah.
And maybe this is why I'm in the position I'm in. You know, I got nothing but blessings in my life. I have a happy life. Some crazy shit that happens, like, to make you realize certain things and why they're so good. And it's like, too many people are focused on what someone else is telling you to focus on.
Yeah, I can understand that.
You know, when I got the fucking brain rattled that night, it almost like knocked out that like superficial, like egotistical shit. And it turned into more like, okay, this is my life. I now have to see it from a different...
You have to see it through.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, got to see it through, my boy.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
You have to.
It was, like I said, cool experience though, because the world would probably look at that as, oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm like, hell yeah, me too. Can't believe what I think now. You can't believe like how I don't have no more really negative thoughts. Like dude, it's true. You almost got to have something real negative happen in your life, or traumatic, because I'll tell you what, half of these people that got all these crazy ass opinions now of what they think is going on and how hard their life is, most of them ain't really had something really hard, like really hit them. They didn't lose.
I can believe that.
Yeah, they never lost a parent. They never like got punched in their mouth so fucking hard it made them think twice. It was just hard enough to let you know. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's one thing, and I've said this to you multiple times because you were there when my dad had passed. I've said this time in and time out every single fucking day. I never wish the death of a parent to a daughter or son. Yeah. I'm sorry, dude.
I saw you go through that.
That had to be the worst. Dude, we went through it for what? A full... I found out my dad had cancer, and then we went through it. You were there. You helped me get my dad in the car and take him to the hospital. He couldn't move.
Remember what he said about the Corvette? Dude, that was fucking awesome.
He called me. Well, my mother called me and said, your father's not breathing, but he's alive. I did 140 all the way down 42 to get to the house. Not only that, when I showed up to the house, I'm not smoking. You know that. Come on. When I get to the house, he's a fucking vegetable. He's alive, but he can't speak. And he couldn't actually speak. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know who my mother was. It was fucked. You helped me get him downstairs. And you said, Mr. D, I love your Corvette. And this motherfucker says, thank you. Out of all things, who the fuck says thank you when you can't even talk to your own kid or wife? Fuck. Oh my God, it was such a unbearing experience.
Dude, your dad was a legend.
Dude, he was a I don't even know. I call him a cock every day, but goddamn, dude, was that motherfucker an absolute unit when it came to anything. And you already know that. And, you know, I even said this to Eleni. I wish she could have experienced what my dad was like, because she would have enjoyed it. The way that Eleni is, the way that the person she is, the way that she carries herself, she would have loved to see who my dad was. And it's a hard thing to go through. It is. It really is. And like you said, dude, some of these experiences that we have you never wish upon somebody.
Nah.
And I think that's where, you know, your life-altering change comes into place. Like, I would never wish that on a single person. I would never wish anybody got jumped. You gotta fight somebody, fight it out. Duke it the fuck out. But make sure y'all shake hands at the end and breathe.
Nah, and you know what's funny? I agree with that if the situation has to be that, but you know, when we talked about, you know, life changes from that incident, it got me to really like look at certain things logically, dude. I have like almost, I don't want to say I'm cold with feelings, because I feel like I probably have more than most. I feel like now I just have like a way better like control and understanding of them.
Okay.
But now it's like, if I'm very well aware of where I'm going, like if I'm going to a bar, I'm not sitting here trying to be the old man where it's like, oh man, I'm not trying to go out and drink. It's like, nah, I just don't want to be in that situation.
Also, put yourself in a bad situation.
And to me, a bad situation now is being around any more than 5 to 10 inebriated people that aren't thinking.
Or blasted drunk.
And to me, it's like, I smoke, dude. Like, I'm more in tune. Like, I like to focus. Like, it really helps me, like, really zone in when I do shit. And it's like, when I would drink, I would just be all over the fucking place. I'd be numb. I gotta be doing something completely different than what I would be doing if I was sober. And most of the time when I smoked, it was more or less, I was doing the things I was already doing sober, just, you know, more creatively. Like, this definitely like opened me up. But Yeah, now I'm not in those situations. Like, I just don't want to do that no more. You know?
As you shouldn't. You know, like you said, life-altering changes really take a toll on somebody. And, you know, that is one big thing that I wanted everybody to understand is this is what happens when, I'm not going to say everybody gets drunk, but when you let emotions take a full hold of your body and you don't really think about what the fuck is going on. Them dudes were belligerently drunk, just throwing haymakers, hitting whatever the case may be, throwing knees, feet to the fucking chin, whatever. But if you can take a step and think about it before you throw that haymaker, like, yo, if I hit this kid, he might just end up dead. And that's the problem. When you're drunk, you don't think. You just go.
Well, here's the only thing that, you know, everybody listening probably wouldn't see the double standard to. It's already dangerous enough to be in a fight, correct? It's already, you don't know, anything could happen.
Absolutely.
What the people that jumped me didn't know is that I have an extremely rare bone disorder. You ever watch the movie Unbreakable with Samuel L. Jackson? I got the tattoo on my arm.
100%.
Love that. Mr. Glass. I was born with that bone disorder. It's called osteogenesis imperfecta. Okay. So my bones like lack a massive, massive amount of collagen. So they damn near have the consistency of glass. I've broken over 70 bones since I've been born. Now here's the irony. I should be in a wheelchair and fitness, you know, a whole nother segment on fitness because that another thing that changed my
whole nother.
Oh my God, yeah. But, you know, I wasn't supposed to live, man. All the injuries I'd had that night, some people like can't recover from that.
No, most people won't.
And if they do, then they have the psychological recovery if they can make it out. Like, it was one of the hardest things to do. But, you know, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. You get to a point where you have to be aware of how great your life is. Because I even was throwing myself into situations where it's like, I'm reckless and wild, drunk, all fucked up all the time, or doing something crazy if I'm not working and I'm out with my friends. And, you know, we had gotten into a couple fights and I had gotten lucky that nothing was broken. I've broken my hand a couple of times, but luckily no one hit me hard enough, like, to do that. But, like, I guess when you get jumped by a professional fighter,
it changes everything.
Yeah, and you happen to be a guy who, when a guy who is a professional fighter who's hitting you is hitting somebody who has bones the consistency of glass.
Yeah, it's a fucked situation.
Yeah, dude. And fucking wild.
It's just, you know what, man? I'm thankful that you're still here. Obviously, you've been one of my closest friends for some fucking time. So I just think that people needed to understand, like, the life-altering situations that come with certain times.
Did you plan this on the interview? Did you? That was a good one.
No, actually,
you really just went off the top of the head?
No, I actually fucked up because I had a question before. Now that I have to answer, but like I wanted people to, and this is the biggest thing when interviews come in, you need to throw somebody off guard. That was my curveball. Oh. Everything's off the top. I studied and understood how we do things and like how we've, you know, always talked. But like me and Lenny were driving over here. She was like, "Do you know what you're gonna say?" I said, "Nope." I said, "Let's figure it out real quick."
Dude, I'm the same way. I'm better on the fly sometimes.
And it goes to show that this is another big thing for me. When I interview somebody or when I want to interview somebody, I don't want it to look script.
Yeah.
Off the top, run it. You know, there's no outtakes. This is one fucking take.
Well, that's kind of like, everybody was asking me like, about this podcast thing.
Okay.
And I was so...
This goes into my next question, but continue.
Okay, I see where this is going. So, everybody, since I've been cutting hair and this experience happened, it's kind of funny because it just leans into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I took that experience and now my perception behind the barber chair was completely different.
Okay.
Within a year of that incident happening, I think I had actually left my barbershop that I was at for like 8 years. The time frame may be off. I'm high as a fucking kite right now.
Fair enough.
But I remember when that happened, I was like, yo, I'm here. My life's not going to end here. I appreciated this opportunity. Like, dude, I had like anxiety for fucking like 6 months getting ready to tell my boss. I was like, yo, I got to go. Because in my mind, dude, I was like, yo, I got to get out. There's a fucking world.
Yeah.
And like, there's so much out there. And it's like, it's not traveling to different places or fucking getting drunk on a beach. Like, nah, there's there's experiences, there's growth there. And like, I finally fucking saw it. And then when I brought it back to the barbershop, my conversation was different. It used to be, yo, this weekend was crazy. We were at the club. Shit was popping. There were girls everywhere. Some random girl flashed her tits. The one tit was to the left, was a little saggy, but like, it was still titties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's fucking crazy nights. Like
Boys, it was the men talk.
yeah, like when Carell goes on and you just see just titties everywhere.
Oh, God, I love Carell champagne showers. It's just a fucking...
And that's what I'm saying. Like, those were the things I was talking about. My clientele was also people that were in the party scene. Like, you know, I built a good clientele, like always going out and talking to people. Like, you know, I'm a fun motherfucker.
Absolutely.
But when people...
I'll talk about Miami.
No.
Miami was a good time, though.
We could get back to that one. But for future reference, there will be a story on this one. But
for future reference, you made me sleep by myself in a bed, and I have a video of you saying, Mr. Jones.
Mr.
What
Jones.
a time, in a pink fucking hat with a bloody nose.
Yeah, that was rough, man.
I'm just saying that video will stay forever locked.
That's stripper quit her job.
Stripper.
People, you're gonna hear about this. Like this, that was an interesting one.
We'll get back to that when we do our traveling talks.
Yeah. But where was I?
You were back on how your conversation had changed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So the conversation started changing, and I wanted to just see who was down to take this new journey with me. Like, my journey is no longer going to be, I'm at the club, and we're all trying to just look good and see what... actually, I don't know what the fuck we were doing in the club. I don't know. Just a whole nother fucking story. But everything started changing, and all this growth just started happening. Like, people started sharing their experiences with me. I don't know, it was because I was vulnerable and I was telling them my story when I got back to the chair and how I was like, yo, things are different. Like, I see things differently. And then some people are like, yo, that didn't happen to me, but like, I've had that kind of similar, but I don't have this feeling you have. And I'm like, I feel like I really got it. Like, I feel like some people, it's like, they get it a little bit and like it drives them a little bit, but it doesn't turn the car all the way the fuck on. Like, it doesn't want to make it fucking slam your foot down.
Start.
Yeah. Like, it's trying to get going, but it's like, fuck, the experience wasn't strong enough. Like, the experience didn't break you.
Yeah.
It just got you just there enough to go back to it again.
Not fully commit to not going back.
Exactly.
But so that's where I wanted to take this. You know, you had said, you know, people kept asking you about the podcast and like, what is going on? What the fuck made you want to start a podcast? What drove you to want to interview, and not just interview people, but bring people on and let people tell their story? What drove you to not only work 8 to 12 hours a day for 5 to 6 days straight, and then want to do this for 2 to 3 hours each week? Like, did you have like this sudden spark of like, this is what I do? I love talking to people. Did you have like, you know, I don't want to say a change in like everything, but like, it's like the same way like when people say like, oh, well, what, why are you trying to, you know, change up what you do in photography? Because I want different experiences. I want to change for the better. Like, what drove you to want to be in these chairs talking to people?
Might be a little drag, but I'm going to try to clean this up the best way I can.
Okay.
When my mind switched over, I started paying attention to other people's conversation in the barbershop differently.
Okay.
Like I said, I was all about partying and yada, yada, yada. And then it turned into, yeah, I've been going through this and now I'm actually curious about that problem. I've never had that problem, but I'm listening to that problem. Now my focus had turned to understanding like the possibilities of life.
Okay.
Like, I had the lottery pick of like having my life ended. So it's like, so at this point in my life, it's like, now I'm going to see what other problems like you can have. Because something I've kind of learned in life is, you know, if you can manage your problems, you can manage your profit. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial.
No.
It could be all over the fucking board.
Exactly.
So listening to people's problems, I was kind of like, this is possible. This is possible. Oh shit, that happened. So now I got all these collective fucking experiences and like pieces of knowledge. And I'm like, holy shit. And then I'm just going to say like, let's just take this like 2 years down the road from my mindset changing.
Okay.
Right. I'm not really in trouble, I'm not really struggling. I'm doing better than I have.
Mentally, physically, financially, emotionally?
But I'm not going to say it was from that particularly, but it started coming from all these guys in the barbershop. Once I was focusing on what life is going to be and not just some fucking giant party, like life is such a bigger fucking experience, and now I'm listening to every experience. I've been doing this now for over a decade. I've collected a decade's worth of knowledge from literally over 1,000 grown men. And from a numerical standpoint, do the math, right? Some people, if they're not out in life, they may get at max. Like, let's just say this conversation we got right now for an hour, strong hour, right? Some people might get that once or twice a week. Now, in that once,
And some people might get that once or twice a month.
Cool, but let's just say they get it once or twice a week.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking that's a small number. I'm sure there's tons of people that probably don't have the opportunity to talk to really anybody.
Understandable. That's what you've always said. You've always said the barbershop is a closed door. You say what you got to say. It doesn't leave.
It's real life.
It is.
So let's take it this way. Somebody has 3 people they talk to, or 3 groups of people. Their mom and dad, their 2 friends that they really consider 2 friends, and maybe like their spouse. There's your 3 groups, 3 different perspectives, right? So those groups are only going to speak from their experience. You're going to take that information in emotionally because you believe they have the actual interest that they want you to feel better about your situation. Now, mind you, that's what your people that love you are supposed to do, try to give you the best advice. If someone asks me something and I don't fucking know, I'm not telling them shit. Be like, yo, I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
Most people, when they're trying to console people or talk about, like, I'm trying to help this person, it's like, what's your fucking experience on trying to help them? If you felt the same thing, yeah, we're human beings. We have the same fucking emotions that every other fucking human has. But do you have the logic to explain those feelings? Most of the time, people are asking very unqualified people for their advice. And that's where I wanted to start this podcast. I've downloaded so much fucking knowledge in my head from everybody over the years. Like, everything in my life turned that night.
Okay.
And this is where I ended up. My business has thrived beautifully. I love all of my people. I don't even really like to call them clients because I have such a personal relationship with every single one.
Because of how much you know about them, how much knowledge they've given you about their story.
And guess what? You know what's fair? When you do the same. Some people hide like the insecurities and vulnerabilities of their actions, and it's like, you're just as fucking human as I am. If we can get to that level as people and understand it that way respectfully, it's like, yo, that's not a client. That's someone that supports me. And if you do the same, it's very mutual. Like, that's how the world works in my eyes. I was in a world where people just took advantage of people. And now I'm in the opposite world. My second chance gave me that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I can completely see what you're saying.
I can't talk to no more people in the shop. My business is private.
Yeah.
And I keep it private because of how tight I am with people. Because I remember being in a barbershop where there was like 6 barbers. The conversations were out there, but they weren't like super intimate. Since I opened up my private shop like 6 years ago, dude, I hear even, like, I thought the barbershop taught me some shit.
Nah.
Well, now the private conversations taught me some shit. It taught me so much shit. It fucking made me have I'm starting to smoke fucking weed at the bong like once every half hour. Just to digest this shit.
When you give people a little bit of light to just express their concerns, their life, whatever's going on in their life, they're gonna take that as, you know what, this is a safe place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit here and get this out, get some insight on what is going on, and I'm gonna use that as motivation or understanding. Maybe that's not the word, understand. Maybe understanding of the situation. Dude, it's different. And I've actually said this multiple times because I've been in different barbershops. But again, this is why I come to you. Not only are we very close friends, but like when we sit there and we have conversations, There's nobody in the shop. It is me and you, and we rap about what we need to rap about. And it almost feels like I'm in like a fucking vault, and no one can ever take what is being said here outside. And that's how I know, like, even all the boys or whoever comes through to get a haircut, they have a safe place to just speak.
You want to know what's crazy real quick? Not to cut you off.
Fun?
But, the reason I think my business did so well is because that information stayed to me. I feel like that's where, it's a whole nother thing we'll talk about later, but like where people in general kind of go wrong at is that they like to exploit people's vulnerability.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, I'm trying to grow some type of confidence on someone's vulnerability. Like if you're weak here, it's like you may feel really uncomfortable, but it's kind of like, talk to me about it. Like I know what it's like to be uncomfortable. Like if you're gonna lie to me and tell me you're not, then it's like, okay, I can't actually see you as being a reputable person in my life. Because you're already, and I understand it's kind of like might not want to tell somebody, but I got a reputation now to where it's like people come to me for these things. Like I feel like my haircut isn't secondary, but there are a lot of people that come to me that don't look at the mirror, they don't care, and they're just like, nah, dude, like I know it looks good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, man, you could have me drawing a blank here because there's so much like I could belt out right now. You know?
But you had asked me yesterday when you said, hey, I want you to interview me. And you said, I don't get stumped on questions.
Yeah.
Guess what, motherfucker? I know you through and through. I haven't known you for a very long time, but I know you for some fucking time. And I can stump you on questions because I got another one, after we get out of this segment. I got another one that's going to take us to the end of our first podcast on this podcast.
All right.
But no, this is something that I wanted people to experience. I wanted people to understand where you were coming from while doing this podcast, because anybody can just say, I want to start a podcast. Motherfucker, why? What are you doing this podcast for? Are you doing it trying to make money? Or are you trying to do it to create something? Are you doing it because you generally enjoy talking to your boys, your people, athletes, celebrities?
Was I so high? I just went on a rant.
No, but that's the good thing. When you just want to speak, it changes the way you talk. Because then you start talking like you have something to get out.
Yeah, I can feel that.
So the main thing is you want to get whatever the fuck you want to say out.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So how people, is where I drifted now that I'm back to it. When people don't get those conversations, I've compounded all that they don't know,
okay,
or haven't experienced yet. Because on top of listening to the information, I've then gone out with these people and experienced their world. So I'm taking both. So for me, I can't physically cut any more people at the shop. I am booked to the max. And be honest, I'm bored. Where this isn't hard to me. Working these hours it's not hard.
Because you've been doing it for so long, or because
I love this shit.
Okay.
I love this shit, dude. I love this shit so much that I see what kind of benefit it is and what kind of a benefit is just to my people. If I could do this on a broader perspective, if money comes from this, that's fucking dope. But I'll be honest, this didn't cost me nothing. This whole setup didn't cost me nothing. I literally got a couple grand off of just betting on fucking DraftKings this year. And it literally paid for the whole podcast equipment. Do not follow me for financial advice.
Yeah, please don't follow Jay for financial advice or sports betting advice.
Yeah, not sports
betting.
But absolutely not.
There are some people you can follow for sports betting advice.
Absolutely.
I won't shout them out because, God, they could be fucking wrong.
Yeah, we will touch on that, though.
Sports betting is definitely going to be a segment in this.
Absolutely.
100%. And I think that's another thing that's fun is you didn't bet a lot 2-3 years ago.
No, ready?
You did it subtly.
No, back then, when I was partying and doing all that shit, that was just inside the mix, too. That money was fueling party. Everything, was fueling itself.
Okay.
So I used to gamble a lot. And then I just stopped gambling for a couple of years until I ran into my friend, our mutual friend. And
I
then
mean, you can say who it is.
I'll ask him first. And then because he said he actually would come on here and kind of rap with us one day. So I'd rather save
getting that motherfucker on here would be an absolute shit show.
I know.
Because he's been through, I'm not going to compare the experiences. Please don't ever take that.
No, not at all.
But that motherfucker has been through some shit too.
Dude, he's got more tattoos than me.
He has his whole body. He has both ass cheeks tattooed, his entire legs to feet.
I judged him the one day at the show. I remember that.
I had to.
That's right. We did it together. That's right. Forgot about that.
I had to judge my own family.
You had to judge his ass too. Was that weird?
No, but his thigh to ass to leg tattoo.
The left or the right?
I think it's the right one. I think it's done by Josh. Maybe John. I forget who it's done by, but that piece is fucking out of this world.
Dude, his whole collection.
Yeah. Crazy. And his head was cool. When he shaved his head was fire.
Dude, when I cut his hair a few times, you
saw it.
Yeah, well, he would get a ball fade, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as I would take the clippers up and start hitting the ball fade, I'm like, holy shit. I'm only tattooed up to like the back of my neck. He's got it up to the crown.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit.
Motherfucker's tattooed.
Quite impressive.
Oh, it's definitely impressive. But that leads me into this. So we've actually touched on this, a lot of times. And you always told me that, tattoos are permanent, obviously. You've always said that. But you told me you would never get your hand tattooed. Hold on. Now that you saw my hand tattoo,
I've considered.
You've now considered it, and then you also fully got done your neck.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Take me to that little bit of process. Like, what went through your head to get your fucking neck tattooed? Like, was it... I'm not going to say it wasn't worth it, because I think every tattoo I have was dope, different experience. It definitely put me in, like, uncomfortable positions, because, like, the back of my leg fucking sucked.
I don't have my legs yet.
Dude, I'm telling you straight up. Please be mindful. The back, at least for me, my calf and inner kneecap fucking sucked camel dick.
But how do you know that? How do you know that's the reference?
Brother, all I'm saying is you see some shit on Bob Menery's TikToks and Instagram.
Nah, I'm actually not really. I'm on Instagram, but that's the only.
That's one Instagram you need to follow. Is Bob Menery. Who he is, dude? He's fantastic. But take us through the neck tattoo. Take us through what went through the process of you actually saying, you know what, I'm gonna do my entire neck, and it's just gonna do it right fucking now.
So a couple years ago, I had a horrible experience. One of my best friends died.
Okay.
A couple days before Christmas, and passed from cancer, unfortunately. So I remember I wanted to get a tattoo for him. Okay. And at that point, I was kind of just tattooed like up to the collar. Like I was kind of stopping like right there.
Yeah.
And I forget where I was, but I saw somebody like out or whatever, and they had like the back of their neck done. And I thought it actually looked really good. It didn't look like too crazy. And I was like, actually, I don't mind that. So I actually got the cancer ribbon with his with the stuff on the thing. So I didn't mind the back of the neck. And then next thing I know, the tattoo itself, I guess, for who did it first, I guess didn't apply it like really strong, like so it kind of faded kind of quick.
Okay.
So I had my buddy Gary redo it, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't like redo it because it wasn't salvageable that way.
Yeah.
So we covered it up and put an angel on it, something to kind of commemorate it.
Shout out to Gary, you were fantastic.
Oh yeah, trust me, Gary's coming on here. He said he's ready.
Good, I love Gary. Gary did my Grateful Dead bear, and that was fantastic.
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, so over time I had something else happen. Another person passed from cancer, and I really, really wanted that cancer ribbon back.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I didn't look at it any particular way. I just wanted to kind of just keep the same theme. So I just wanted to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So then the cancer ribbons went on the sides for family and friends. Like no matter what, I look at that every day. When I look in the mirror, like that's what I see.
Yeah.
I'm reminded that the insecurity I have for it is way stronger. Like the feeling's not there of always being scared. Like, you know, when something happens too much to you, you start getting scared. You're like, fuck, this is...
You panic, you take 2 steps back.
Yeah, to me, I'm taking 2 steps forward.
Okay.
You know, like every tattoo I have on my body has some type of really odd symbolic meaning. Like, I think I may have 1 or 2 tattoos that I'm kind of like, yeah, I just really, really wanted that.
They're just sick.
Yeah, like I got a couple Pokemon tattoos that I'm like, I just wanted those.
Childhood.
Yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? But the neck itself was kind of like, if you're going to tattoo your neck, in my opinion, because I've seen some sick fucking neck pieces, but for me, it's like, I want you to know that if you're looking at my neck, that tattoo is of like the strongest things to me.
Exactly.
It's not, you know, like I said, it's not a rose. It's not something you put like a crazy meaning to. It's like, this is my experience. It's like, if you want to talk about it and mention it, it's like, you'll probably get a better story other than thanks. It's like, I might talk your fucking ear off about it. You know what I mean? The throat, though, I was kind of looking at it as, it was actually the tattoo that I just wanted. I wanted something kind of timeless. So I talked to my tattoo artist, Gary, and I was like, yo, dude, what do you think about some like geometric shapes? Like my buddy Mark Sarcusi, he's got you saw Mark's leg. It's ridiculous. Like Dalton crushed that.
Absolutely.
Like that, it's literally 3D popping off of his leg. And I was like, well, all right, I'm not trying to go like that in depth, like, cause thinking like, yo, it's my throat. Like,
yeah, it's gonna fucking hurt.
Dude, I cried getting my fucking neck done. My fiance was looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Does Mary have any tattoos?
She's got 1. She's got 1 tattoo. Popped her cherry. She went for a titty piece, like right under the rib. She went in. Dude, it's big.
And Lenny's like, I want tattoos. She's like, I want a sleeve. Or I don't know if she said a sleeve or a half sleeve. I'm drawing a blank.
Does Lenny have any tattoos?
No. No, and she's like, I know she would eventually get them, but like,
I didn't think Mary was gonna get it. I like talked to her. I was like, yo, I'll pay for it. I'm like, yo, come experience this with me, because like I have so many and she didn't have any, and I'm like, if you could relate to one part of this tattoo thing that I have going, like, do I want to see her get tatted like to the neck up? It's like, no. But it's like, it's cool to just share that we have that experience.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. I can understand that.
She could not get another tattoo for the rest of her life. I wouldn't care. But it's just like,
she did. Lenny. And if she wants, I've said this to her multiple times. You want to get a tattoo? That's all on you.
Yeah.
I will be there, hold your fucking hand, watch you get that tattoo, film it, video it, take a photo. But if you don't want them, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
no problem with it.
You know what though? Once you get your first one, that's it.
Look at Hodge.
Yeah. And you know what though? Here's my twist though. I use tattoos sometimes as like my board. And I say this in a way of...
Yeah, go in depth, because I'm trying to understand what you mean by like you use it as a board.
Yeah. Most people, like I work for myself.
Okay.
I really, at this point, have gotten to a stage in my life where it's not a point of arrogance. I just don't care. Like I care about what I care about. And if I care about you enough, I will still keep like there's like that blessing in my life, you know? And I remember it was like, don't get tattoos. Like, oh my God, you'll never get a job. And I remember like I used to have tattoos that, you know, only were on my arms and like, you know, being very conservative, you know? And I got to a point where it's like, wait a minute. I really want to like add to this, like, because once I got pieces that like started making sense, and like when people would talk to me about them, like, yo, what's that? And I would tell them what it was about, and they were like, yo, that's sick. And I'm like, oh, trust me, I got crazy other stories that I can't wait to get tattooed, because it's like, it's a great, like, it's like a board of like topics. It's like,
okay, now I can understand what you mean.
Yeah, it's like if you're really looking at somebody and you don't know what to say to them, it's like, okay, that guy's got a cancer ribbon tattooed on his neck. It's like, okay, I'm going to assume cancer is in his life or something with cancer. You know, they'll see that I have the Matrix like tattoo right here, and it's like, okay, interesting, unique Matrix tattoo. Like I have a Novocaine needle from like a really good friend of mine whose song like he made and shit. The Mr. Glenn, dude, I got fucking tattoos everywhere, and everything's got something fucking nuts to it.
Something that happened or is a part of your life.
Yeah, and I have no problem showing it that way. And
you shouldn't.
But I wish that there was I wish this culture and this mindset was for more people, because it's free. it's a free thinking state of mind. And
100%.
it's not like of any like you're wrong, I'm right. It's just, no, I've stretched it a little further and a little further and a little further. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the little bit of things I've done in my life, it's like, hold on. I know people that are trying to justify certain things in their life and like they can't. Other people still tell them what to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Yo, dude, you're, let's just say you're a lawyer. You're working for a big firm. Big money's on the line. You're crushing it. You go get a neck tattoo and they fire you. Nobody's firing me.
100%.
Like nobody's doing that. And nobody's firing you. You know, if you can have that thought process, it's like, it's a very liberating experience. If you can like handle the responsibility of having free thought and free like word to speak, it's like, as long as you could be like a little conscious of what you're saying and not be a complete fucking jerk off, it's like, you know, you could do some real good with it.
100%.
You realize there's no real boundaries. The boundary is what you'll let someone else put for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of like where the neck tattoo came in. I actually had gotten it done to the point where I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. I was just continuing my artwork. Like I'm actually going on Tuesday to finish my stomach. Like I'm
with that.
The bottom of the stomach sucked. Yeah.
Dude, I'm petrified to get my stomach tattooed.
I got 4 weeks with Gary, back to back to back.
Petrified.
And
I'm scared fucking shitless.
you're not making me feel any better.
No, that's not what I'm supposed to do.
Thanks.
You're supposed to take numbing cream and figure it the fuck out, big boy.
I'll be honest, of all the tattoos I've gotten, I may do this one because you know I don't want to actually fuck up the artwork now. That's something I thought about. Like, you know, like the numbing cream can actually, like in certain spots, like, yo, I do have some tattoos where I've had Gary work on them and it's like it was my fault that I'm like I'm twitching or I'm because, like fuck.
Yeah. So there's what is it? I gotta find it for you. I'll send it to you. It was like $60. Dude, my hand tattoo took out 2 hours. I felt it for maybe 42 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, no, I barely felt it. I breezed through this and I was literally just sitting there jamming the fucking music. But I can tell you right now, if I didn't have that fucking numbing cream, I'm crying like a little bitch.
Yeah, see, I you know the Bactine spray?
It works for a degree. You got to spray it and then wrap it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I actually tried the numbing cream for the throat. And I don't know if I did it right or wrong, but like...
Numbing cream or Bactine spray?
Numbing cream. That's what I've tried it, but like you telling me you didn't feel it. There's certain spots like that I've tried it. You know, he started tattooing me and I'm like, okay, this kind of worked, but like this didn't really work.
How long did you leave it on for?
I don't know. It said, I forget. I just don't think my skin takes it.
Not even just that. You have to apply it, heavily apply it, and then wrap it.
Yeah, with the saran wrap. Yeah.
But leave it on for almost an hour and a half.
Right.
And that's how then you feel it, like you touch your skin and nothing, you can't feel anything.
Oh, wow.
So that was the biggest.
So I've been doing this all wrong.
Yeah, probably. If you've never let it sit for like an hour and a half, then you've absolutely been doing it wrong.
It's a good thing I'm not like one of those people in Yelp, you know, there's like review people like, I don't like this product.
No, I can't stand it.
Because I'd be fucking wrong. It's like I'm doing it wrong.
It's like when I'm ordering DoorDash, it's like I'm looking at people's reviews, I'm like, okay, you didn't get your French fry, but everything else was perfect.
That's not the driver. That's not the driver.
No, not even that. Like I'm looking at the store, I'm like, okay, so they forgot one fry out of your $75 McDonald's order.
Yeah, but let's be real here. It's McDonald's fries. I don't eat McDonald's. I will eat the fries. That's all I eat from McDonald's.
Dude, me and Lenny might go there to get fucking fries on the way home. I swear to fucking God. Now I want a McDonald's fry.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
You wouldn't be opposed. I'm trying not to eat past 7:30. I had a smoothie.
I know. I appreciate you bringing me a smoothie, by the way. I
appreciate it, Lenny. She was the one that got the smoothie.
Yeah. Lenny's over there right now with...
You can't see her. She's behind the camera. Her and Mary are behind the cameras just enjoying the fact that two individuals are talking about literally random ass shit.
Yeah. Again, though, thanks for the smoothie. I thought it was awesome. I think she said something, but these headphones...
Yeah, I'll be honest. All I can hear is ourselves.
Yeah, it's just some
It's
stuff.
very deep. These headphones work very well.
Yo, you know what's crazy? This whole podcast, it feels really natural because, like,
Sponsored by DraftKings.
it is sponsored by DraftKings.
Thank you, DraftKings.
But, like, this whole thing is so, like, submersive. Like you're, like, submerged in it. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, it actually makes me talking to people that much easier. Like, this is really easy. It's sometimes really hard when there's, like, if I could explain this to anybody that, like, has never, like, put the headphones on and, like, spoke about it, you don't realize how loud a quiet room is. Like, you really don't until you put these headphones on and you're locked in. Like, this whole, like, it's your world.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. Like, I feel like I'm only in my thoughts right now. There's nothing else that's in my head other than me, like, occasionally seeing my dog, like, scurry across the carpet.
You know what's crazy for me? I've seen Frank, like, try to run over to Lenny, like, 10 times to throw the fucking ball. And then I look to my right past you, there's Pikachu with a fucking Indiana Jones hat on, and I'm like, okay, I don't know which way to fucking look here now.
Yeah, this is an interesting setup here.
Yeah, but I'm here for it. I think I like this setup. And
Can the people see the Pikachu?
I will insert a clip. This is the clip. I'm going to continue talking, but you're going to see the clip. I'll go videotape Pikachu. Fuck it. Like, I'll pick up the camera and go tape Pikachu. But no, listen, I think the podcast was a good thing for you. I think it gives you an outlet to express directly how you and another human talk. Somebody who you work with, very obviously, often not necessarily in a working environment, but when you cut their hair, you're obviously working.
Nah.
In a retrospect of things, you're working.
Sure.
Not in your head.
Sure.
It's like the same thing when I take photos. I'm not fucking working. I'm doing what I love. I love taking photos.
So then I wouldn't call it working. I'd call it living.
Yeah. It's experiences. It's definitely a big experience.
If somebody tells you where you have to be, that's work. If you choose to do what you're doing and you go do that, that's living. I don't work.
Fair enough.
Like, if I could say something really, like, off topic, but, like, just an odd view. In my mind, I retired in 2005 because it's old as it. Nah, in my mind, I retired back in, like, 2012 when I finally went independent.
When I graduated high school, brother.
Possibly.
You are old as fuck.
33.
You are old. And then Lenny calls me old. I'm not fucking old. You're old.
I feel young.
Fuck you, Lenny.
I feel young, brother.
I see you laughing. You are young. You look good for 33. I look decent for 29. I'm 29. Yeah, I'm 29. Babe, I'm 29, right? Okay, yeah, I'm 29.
You don't know how old you are?
I forget. I sort of fucking
Dude,
got.
I'm the one that's
I have the absolute worst memory.
I can tell.
Wait,
what'd you just ask me?
Oh,
No, really, what'd you just fucking ask me?
I don't think I asked you anything.
You did. You asked me some type of a question.
No, I didn't.
No? Hell, Ricky, I'm high.
Oh my God. Did I actually ask you a question? I'm going to have to replay this back to see if I actually asked you a question.
I think you did, and you were just...
There's no shot. I'm not even high. I'm not drunk. I just got a really bad memory.
You know what? I'll accept that.
Yeah, you don't have... You have to. Because I don't remember if I asked a question.
Ladies, did he ask a question?
Did I say anything? No, yeah, see? Yeah, fuck you.
Son of a bitch.
I told you.
Fuck you.
They both had my back on that one. You saw them peeking their little eyes over the couch, and they were like, no.
Fuck.
Got you.
All right.
You're high.
I am.
I'm here for it. But... fucking Christ. I can't do it.
Were we talking about why I was doing this shit?
Yeah, you actually ended it, though. Then we moved into the neck tattoos.
Yeah. What else? So, yeah, I don't know. It's where you want to pick it back up at, because I'll tell you what.
Well, first off, I would really love to say thank you, everybody, for watching.
Oh, yeah.
This is different for both of us, not only just me, but for Jay. This is his podcast. I am just a individual who is helping through this.
Yeah, it's really hard I'm not the type of cat to talk about something if it's not asked. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people try to tell their stories. It's kind of like, nah, it's like I'm I'm asking questions, and that's how we get to our stories.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like and that's the funny part. I wouldn't know what someone would want to know. Like my clients still to this day still find out something like, wait, that happened? I'm like, yeah.
My favorite thing that I know about you is Dogecoin.
That was funny. That was cool.
That was
cool
a
time.
month worth of. I called you, I think, 3 times a day, and told you that Dogecoin went up a point.
Oh yeah,
Up a point.
that was beautiful.
Hey bud, it went up a point. Buy more. Buy more. Buy more.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That was a fucked up time.
That was a great time.
I don't even remember my password to get into my crypto.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's a big concern.
Oh, shut up. I gotta figure it the fuck out.
I hope you do.
I'm probably gonna email them like I did last time I lost my password.
Jeez.
Hey, don't start with me, man. I don't remember things. And I just started getting to the point where I gotta start writing shit down in notes and making reminders.
What do you mean?
Brother,
You slipping that much?
hey, Lenny's looking at me because bro, she actually hasn't made me, but she has put it into my brain like, yo, if you need to do something that day, put a reminder on it.
No.
So we have a to-do list in our notes together, and like there's some shit on there where I still have yet to do.
Yo, but you have a to-do list, don't you? Right?
Yes.
You got a to-do list. That's cool. See, like that's some shit that I need help with sometimes. Like when people are talking to me, it's like that's what like really gets me going. Like hearing shit like that. Like you got a to-do list. You know how many people when you're out at the bar don't talk about a to-do list because it's all about just mindless bullshit.
Literally.
Dude, I get high when my to-do list is complete. That's my high.
Brother, I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
Because my to-do list is never done.
I mean,
Ever.
I'm always making a new list.
I bet you Eleni can go on our to-do list right fucking now, and I hope she is, and show it up to me and Jay, and look how much shit that I still haven't done.
Can I get an over-under of how many things are on that
Probably
list?
12 things that haven't been done.
Over or under?
12 things over that haven't been done. It's up. Yeah, it's over, right? How many things have not been done on that list? Can you please check? You have your phone.
Wait, over or under 12? Is that what we're guessing? Over or under?
Over or under? I have 12 over.
You have over 12.
I have over 12 things that haven't been done. Absolutely.
Oh, then I'm going to have to take the over as well. As if you know how bad you fucked up. It's like,
no, it's not that I fucked up. It's the fact that I just can't. There's not enough time in the day for me to do everything.
just do some meth. Stay up for like 3 days.
Brother, no.
Why?
I'm not about it.
Get it done.
I just don't want to smoke a pipe.
I respect that.
Do we have a confirmation of over under? Is it over 12? Fuck.
What is it?
What is it? 16.
4 over?
16 over.
16 over.
That means there's 16 things on the to-do list. That there's probably 30 things on the to-do list, and half of them I haven't done.
So, question, why is it still on the list if you already did it?
Because it's got to get done.
No. The things that are
No, because we it just goes down the list. We put dates and then check marks next to them.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, so you can see how productive you were.
Yo.
And I'm not productive.
I
am not productive.
That was the smartest dumb shit I ever heard.
Brother, I am not productive. And I'm doing my fucking best.
But you got a list, though. I like that. You got a list.
I give credit to her for 97% of the things that I actually do that are like good.
She's putting you together a little bit.
Putting me together.
Organized.
She had to take a human that had 600 pieces, and we're probably on piece like 492.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's picking me up to be a real fucking human.
Are there any missing pieces on the board, or you won't know till like the puzzle's like out of pieces?
I think the only missing piece is really for me to remember shit.
Wow.
Because like I kid you not, we could be talking and I'll listen.
How many puzzle pieces were in that again? 600?
Probably 600.
You said 600, and you're at 492.
492.
So technically, there's 599 now, right?
Yeah.
If you're missing one.
For most days, it's probably 599. That missing piece, I have to find myself. I have to get to remember things.
You'll be all right.
I hope, because remembering shit is very hard.
I smoke a joint, I remember things.
I think too hard and I forget it.
You want to hit the joint?
No.
You sure?
The last time I smoked with you, I think we were on.
It's been a while. You don't like to smoke with me.
No, I don't like to smoke at all. You know that.
I know.
Where were we? We were in Miami.
Is that the night we went to 11?
That's the night that I forgot jeans to go to the club, and I had to go buy jeans from Walmart. And when I went to buy jeans from Walmart, they were 3 sizes too big, and they pretty much went over my Yeezys.
So the Yeezys were not seen.
No, it was terrible.
It's okay.
It was an absolute fucking shit show. Yeah. But at the same time, we had a lot of fun that night. Yeah. That bottle was about as half as your tallness.
Yeah, dude, that was a 3-foot bottle.
That was like a $13,000 night.
Yeah, that was half the size of my body.
And we didn't pay for $1.
Nah, shout out to the person who facilitated.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Shout out.
Thank you. It was an absolute blessing. We had a blast.
What?
Listen, again, we thank you guys for listening. If you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Music, if you're here on YouTube watching us degenerates talk about this shit, we really do appreciate you. Jay, thank you for having me as a guest on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I think this shit went fucking smooth.
That was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah, see, and this is what I do every day. So, kind of want to see, like, how far can this go? Like, where does the voice travel to? It's actually like an extreme social experiment. If you actually do what you do and you maintain what you're supposed to be doing without trying to change it up, it's like, is it worth it or not? And I think most people would take a shot on that if they were confident. And like I said, I fuck with the line between like cocky and confident.
100%.
And I play with it right in the middle. And it's like, and I think if you do that, like, you can find that next thing.
That next step that's going to take you somewhere.
Or just the next experience. Like, this could bring a massive experience. It could
100%.
I have literally in my life have had multiple businesses. I've made money with some. I've lost money in others. This one's where it's like, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I could actually sit here and look at it as like, if this is something people can do, it's like, all right, give it a shot. You know what I mean?
As you should.
So I appreciate everybody tuning in. And we're definitely going to have Jake back on here at some point. I don't know when, probably in another episode or two. Who knows? We got some interest.
We got some cats coming on this motherfucker.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm very, very excited. Also half shit nervous too, because it's very interesting to see if people will actually talk to me the same way they talk to me in the barbershop. That's always the one thing I'm always like thinking about when it comes to this, because you know how it is in the barbershop.
Yep.
But it's like that, like you said, because it's private. Like, we can keep shit like a certain way, but there are things that maybe people won't say, but I know they have some.
But they can allude to.
No, but just kind of give their story too, like how that their regular life is kind of, I don't know, it's so relevant to everybody else's. Like, I never wanted to have celebrities on here. I never wanted to have anybody on here that wasn't a real person, someone that is in the trenches of life, that isn't a fucking millionaire. We're trying to tell you how to fucking build double fucking property units. You know what I mean? When you're fucking in the hole. I feel like some of these things, like, they're very, very misleading. And the massive, massive amounts of people that come into my business every year of all the different professions, it's like maybe 1 or 2 of them are truly glorious. And when I say glorious, like, you would give up whatever for the money because, like, the lifestyle is cool. It's
absolutely,
like, some of those really work. But for the most part, 90% of them, the ones that people think are glorious, glamorous, and like, it's so like superficial, like everybody's got to see it. It's kind of like, they're the people that are the most fucked.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing a different element to this.
Yeah,
and
should.
I kind of want to see how real someone might be with me. Being somebody that doesn't have to fucking answer to shit, I can tell you I took some acid and jumped out of an airplane once. It was pretty wild. But My man who works over at the office probably isn't going to say that.
Is that a true story?
Yeah. Jumped out of an airplane 3 times. Once when I was...
Jumped out of an airplane and took acid, then jumped out of an airplane.
Yeah. 3rd time I did it.
That's how we're starting this shit off now. I don't give a fuck. Because I need to hear this.
No, it was good time. We'll hold it for later. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.